Taylor.
And I'm Christian.
And we are TK2L DC News. Today we are here with the Attorney General, Karl Racine, and we are going to ask him some questions about the Black Lives Matter movement. So, our first question is, with the recent killings of blacks in America, what do you think the community can do to work through these issues together?
Thank you very much, Taylor, for first coming over and interviewing. I very much enjoyed our first meeting several months ago. The discussions that we're having now around law enforcement and community relations is extremely important. And what we need to do is what President Obama did just a few days ago, and that is to encourage people of goodwill. That's activists, including Black Lives Matter, law enforcement, and very importantly, the community, to really get together and communicate and try as best we can to talk in a civil way so that we can see exactly what the most important issues are and tackle those issues together. This is really a time for unity and discussion, not disunity.
We can tell that you're very serious with the Black Lives Matter movement. So can you tell us your opinion on the Black Lives Matter movement?
Sure. I think a lot has been discussed about what the Black Lives Matter movement is and what it isn't. Let me just give you what my impression is. I believe the Black Lives Matter movement is a movement that was born out of the perception of a problem, a perception that I share, and that is that people of color are treated differently by law enforcement and the criminal justice system. I think that what Black Lives Matter, at least to me, means is that the movement wants black folks, people of color, to be treated equally, just as folks who are not of color are. And so I think that the goals of the Black Lives Matter movement is seeking equality and fair treatment, and I certainly support those goals.
Okay, so my question is, do you think that the men that served in the military that are now on the police force have been trained to make a difference?
Well, I think that the way the police recruit is extremely important. And although I don't know the exact numbers, from my own experience, police forces are comprised of some folks who previously served in the military. And I think that can be extremely positive, but I think it's important for all police, first of all, to be regularly trained and understand the communities in which they police. It's also especially important as we continue to develop as a society to rethink perhaps the kinds of people who we want to be on the police force. We want people who are committed, and I think most police officers, certainly in the District of Columbia, are committed. We want people who view policing as a public service. I think most of the police officers in the District of Columbia view it that way. But we also want to make sure our people in the police force are folks who understand that there are many ways to attack a problem, including ways that are peaceful and do not involve violence. The increasingly important skill is the skill to de-escalate a confrontation or an interaction with the public.
What do you think you can do in your position as Attorney General that can make a difference with this issue?
I think I bear the responsibility, and I accept the responsibility to be a leader in helping to bring the community together to have the kinds of conversations around the same kinds of excellent questions that you're having. And so my job, first and foremost, is to be a facilitator of bringing people together, to speak honestly about some of the history of disparate, unequal treatment, to talk honestly about the perceptions that both law enforcement may have as to the folks they're policing and the community's perception of law enforcement. My job, in short, is to be an honest broker and a unifier to bring people together to tackle these difficult issues that we confront.
Thank you for the interview today. This is our second interview with him. If you haven't seen our first, you can go all the way back to our very first interview with him. So thank you for joining us here today. And don't forget to subscribe and like, and all of our social media will be in the link below. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you so very much. I look forward to the third interview.
Thank
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.